Hey, good evening. Welcome to this Waco live stream here at the kind of the last minute sort of thing. I hope some of you do pop in. I see hi there, Tom's with us. Hi there, Tom. How you doing? Well, I'll give it a couple minutes here to see if anybody else comes in. And I just want to bring everybody up to date on a bunch of stuff that's been going on and where I am. First of all, on the Meraviglia, other than my regular show, I didn't do a live stream. Hi, Katie. Glad you stopped in. I didn't do a single live stream the entire two cruises, which, of course, the two cruises to me count as one, but there was a 4-day and a 3-day. I was too busy because I had Elizabeth on board. And I tell you what happened with Elizabeth on location. Of course, staff is not supposed to be involved with guests at all. I mean, that's just a no-no. But she got permission to be able not only to meet me in public spaces, areas, but she was allowed to drink too. So before I even got there, they had sent out a photo ID of Elizabeth to all the bars on board saying, it's okay, she can drink, give her whatever she wants. So she had permission to spend, obviously quite a bit of time with me, which we did. And we had so much fun. It was terrific, but it just sidetracked me from doing some of the stuff that I wanted to do, like live streams. So, and of course, I got to meet all of her friends, and then one of her best friends is the Aria, the bartender from the Philippines, who was just so much fun to be with. So it was just that made that whole cruise for me, was being around those guys. So there is some news on Elizabeth on location, which I was not at liberty to share with you guys before. And I'm not going to share it 100% with you now, but I'm going to share part of it. When Meraviglia gets to Cozumel this week, it might be tomorrow. I'm not sure. This week is going to Cozumel, and Elizabeth on location will be disembarking. She's leaving the Meraviglia. I will wait and let her tell you where she's going. But needless to say, for somebody that has struggled and waited and waited and waited and waited to get recalled and back to the ships after 30 years of faithful service, for her to jump, change ships this quickly, I promise you it was a substantial offer. So I will let her tell you where. I was surprised when I first heard of this. Some of our family will be tickled pink because they'll get to see her, like Jason in Pittsburgh, if he shows up tonight. I'm not going to say what cruise line that might be. However, I can get rid of the mask now. I don't need the mask up here in the penthouse. So, but anyway, that's true. The nice thing about it is when I am in Cozumel on the 30th, she's going to be there. So I promise you, we will end up at No Name Bar. She has promised me to cook some of her wacky doodle food that she loves to cook. And quite frankly, it's vegan stuff, and I've never eaten vegan before, but I promised her that I would try it with an open mind, because she swears and be damned that I will not be able to tell what it is. So that will be fun. I'm looking forward to that on the 30th. And I will, as soon as we can get her on a live stream, I'll let her tell you what ship she's going on and the whys and wherefores and so forth. But it is it's a good deal for her. So I'm tickled for Elizabeth on location. She's been, a major supporter to this channel, plus a friend to me. So, and that keeps growing every day. Let's see who else has popped in. Cozumel is March 25th. 25th, that's okay, later in the week. Okay. That's when she gets off, when it gets to Cozumel. When will Elizabeth share her news? When she gets off the ship, and we, because she does not have, the crew does not have the same Wi-Fi that I had. It's just, it's just not as good. So the chances of her popping in like tonight are probably slim to nil. So as soon as she gets off, I will have her on to tell you which Carnival ship she's going to be on. How's that for letting it slip? Oops. She's going to be on a Carnival ship. So, all right. I'm in Slidell, Louisiana. If those of you that aren't familiar with Slidell, I'm about, 25, 30 miles from New Orleans. It's about 2/3 of the way from Port Canaveral to Galveston. And I did not ask Hot Air Tom to do this, but Hot Air Tom, as you know, booked me some hotel rooms. My intention was when I got here tonight, because I have some accessibility issues that I need to spend some time working on, with the whole issue over Port Canaveral and the crap they put me through on embarkation primarily. But I need some time, not driving, that I need some time that I can sit at the computer and do some typing and get a thing posted. I need to make some phone calls. I need to try to talk to the manager over there to see if I can get him to do the right thing before we go into legal action, which we're going to be heading that way probably. But at any rate, I thought, well, I'm 2/3 of the way to Galveston. I got five or six more days till I have to be on a cruise ship. On Monday, I think it sails. And I have Sunday night booked over in Galveston. So I thought, well, I'll get into Slidell tonight and see if I can get a room for tomorrow night to stay here an extra night. Me paying for it instead of Tom paying for it. So they're booked. So here, Hot Air Tom says, well, you want me to see if I can find you something, on down the road, an hour or two? Well, sure, why not? If you got all these contacts, go ahead. And I sent him a message, but I'll pay for it. He doesn't listen. So he booked a room for me tomorrow night in, oh God, what's the name of the town? I can't even think now. But anyway, it's a couple hours down the road. There is an excellent restaurant there, Fisherman's Wharf restaurant. I was teasing Emily earlier that they have gator steak on the menu. They actually have gator on the menu there, but they don't have armadillo, Emily. If Emily pops in, she's been listening to Hot Air Tom about armadillo and gators and things, but they actually do have gator steaks. I don't know if they're gator steaks or gator bites, but anyway, they're on the menu. So I'm going to go there to eat tomorrow evening. So I'll do this. What I'm going to do is do the show here tomorrow at the hotel live, and try to get everything processed. Remember, they're on Central Time here, so I've got an hour to play with. Checkout's at 11 o'clock. They won't let me check out any later than that, which that's 12 o'clock my time. So hopefully I can get the show in and get it processed and get out of here. I'll have everything ready to roll out the door right at 12, which is 11 for them. And then I'll drive the couple hours and check in and try to get some work done, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, that's what's happening from this end. Looking ahead, I don't sail from Galveston until Monday, so I'm hoping to spend some time. I know Jack Wise over there in Conroe, Texas, that asked if I'd have some time to get together. I think we could certainly schedule that. And I hope to do some work on accessible excursions around Galveston and do some work on that end of things. You know, I've got my little scooter with me, so I can, get by, checking out some places. I couldn't use it on the ships because number one, it doesn't have a good turning radius. It's very small. It's easy to tip over. It's very lightweight. So I wouldn't want to use it on a cruise ship. I'll spend the money to have the scooter. Scooters are much better, much heavier. Obviously more what I need on the ship. But, if I stop someplace, and I kept seeing signs today of places, if I wasn't pushed to have to be a certain place at a certain time, I'd stop and go, do some of that. So I can play from here on over to Galveston. I'm not pressed for time, but I've got a lot of things that I just would like to do. And once I get all the issues out of the way with Port Canaveral. And for now, folks, and I will continue saying this, if you are mobility challenged at all, don't cruise out of Port Canaveral, because you're going to get screwed the way it stands right now. Period. The end. That's about as blunt as I can say it. Do not plan a cruise out of Port Canaveral. Now, if we can get them to change policies and do things the way they started doing them in Miami, that whole thing changes. But for now, I wouldn't wish what they put me through on anybody. And it carried through to getting off. Those of you that did not see my show this morning, even getting off, they have wheelchair service. They got to a certain point and said, "This is as far as we're allowed to go. You have to get off this wheelchair." I said, "What?" It's 40 yards to where the shuttle picks me up. I can't walk 40 yards. Sorry, that's as far as we can go. The hell it is. I'm not getting out of this damn chair, pal. Well, I'll have to call my boss. Yeah, call your boss, call his boss, call the ADA compliance director for this facility, call the cruise line, get a hold of somebody from the guest services or from the special needs director. Yeah, call any of them and tell them that you're refusing service to a handicapped patient on oxygen and you're going to force him to walk. I don't think so. Get somebody on the phone. I'm staying in this chair, pal. I'm big enough you can't get me out. So finally, they did take me on over He came back, said, I can't find my bonds. I'm just going to take you over there. I could get in trouble. I said, good, get in trouble. I don't give a damn. But you're not dumping me off 40 yards from where I need to be. So what I will do at Galveston, quite frankly, just in case there are issues like that again, my camera will be on. I'm going to, John fussed at me on this one, Nanook of the North John, fussed at me for not having all this crap I've been through taped. Stick the camera out there, get their names, get their badges, and make sure that you reiterate again. So you are refusing wheelchair service for a disabled guest who's on oxygen. Is that correct? All those, oh no, that's not correct. Excuse me, yes it is. Where's my wheelchair then? Well, I can't do it. You have to walk. No, then you are refusing services. So I'm going to start taping that. So, all right. That room needs some color. I got to go back and see what started that one. I can't say Nikki's here. She loves saying Slidell. I like Slidell's pretty cool. I tell you what, I went to a Mexican restaurant because it's close. I started to say this and got sidetracked. Okay, 100 times when it set up the schedule across here, I didn't tell him how far apart to do this. So he figured that maybe I could drive 5.5 hours somewhere in that vicinity. So he set them up accordingly. And I tell you what, I don't know why he came up with that figure, but it's been absolutely perfect. I'm not sure I could drive much further than that, which has been a bit shocking to me, as much as I've driven in my lifetime. But 5.5 hours, and I'm whooped. So that part is not bad. I haven't recovered that yet. I've gone much more than that. Now, I've had no trouble at all with the 5.5 hours, except that's enough. That's enough for the day. I'm tired, but it's a good tired. Don't get me wrong. Today was a lovely drive. It was so pretty this morning, but then I was going across, northern Florida. There's nothing to see. I mean, you're not where you're close enough to the coast to see anything. You see all kinds of trees. Well, what can I say? So then when we finally got, going across the little tip of Alabama into Mobile, and the drive into Mobile would be awesome, except it had started getting real hazy. It wasn't that nice crystal clear like it had been all the way across Florida today. But it was just hazy enough that you couldn't see as much as you'd like. But that drive and going into Mobile is just awesome. I want to do that again on a like crystal clear day, all the way into where you go into the tunnel. Of course, I would love to be around the water, so that was cool. But anyway, so the hot air Tom had figured out that I'd get to Slidell, and I'm in Slidell, and I went to a Mexican restaurant because it's close. I didn't want to drive and get out in traffic, and I could get to this place without getting back in traffic again on the little side road here from the hotel. And I went down and across the service entrance to a Sam's Club and a Walmart, and there it was. So obviously they told me about it from here at the hotel, but I had a couple adult beverages, shrimp taco dinner with all a big salad and rice and everything. That salsa to die for. It was really good. I mean, I eat Mexican pretty regular. It was really good. So it was a good stop, nice dinner. So Then I came back and said, okay, I need to do it live because I'm way behind on what I should be doing lives. Katie says, sounds so wonderful. When will Elizabeth share news? Yeah, I said that earlier. As soon as I get her on, and it's a carnival ship, and it's going to go back to Cozumel, so she'll be sending people to shop in places where she knows. And by the way, this some of the stuff that I had no idea about what Elizabeth actually does until this trip, and really got into how she works it. It's not like she just takes somebody and sends them to Diamonds Forever, whatever the diamond place is, to buy a diamond. Yeah, you can do that. But she deals with some people that buy a substantial amount of jewelry and gems and stones and so forth, and gets them extraordinarily good deals. So I was shocked at some of the stories that she shared with me. I'm not going to share them publicly, but trust me that my mouth hung open for hours. Had no idea that kind of thing was done on cruise ships regularly. We're talking all the time kind of thing. And then she's very good at what she does. So, yeah, it's not that she's trying to slam you into a store to go buy something. It's a service she's providing to people that want as much of anything and that want to invest in things. I was really surprised. But anyway, she's really good at what she does. The room needs some color, too much white. Yeah, you're right. It's all white. It's everywhere. I hadn't even noticed that, but you're right. Does need some color. That's okay. It's got a nice desk here. I got a nice light. I like how the Holiday Inn Expresses are all nice, and the breakfasts are great in the mornings. The breakfast this morning in where was it? Tallahassee. It was not as good as the one that I had in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Orangeburg, South Carolina was just different. I mean, everything they did was home. You could tell it was homemade. But the one in Tallahassee, the cinnamon rolls were like this big. Scrambled eggs are scrambled eggs. The biscuits, they were not homemade biscuits, but they were good. I'm not sure how they make them, but they were good biscuits. The gravy was excellent. They do a sausage gravy. They also had sausage patties this morning and hash browns. Juice, of course, coffee. They have cereals and hot and cold cereals both. I'm just not much of a cereal person. But it's a nice breakfast. It saves me from stopping, which I like. One of the issues with traveling is stopping and getting in and out of the car, and getting in and out of the scooter if I need the scooter, or if I'm close enough I can walk in and walk out. We got to make that determinations. But that's the hardest part of the traveling for me so far is stopping. So, but I'm enjoying the heck out of it, driving and seeing things. And I mean, I even got stopped by construction that tied us up for 45 minutes coming in just what, 10, 15 miles down the road from Slidell. I didn't even mind that. Yeah, I would get aggravated that you're sitting there for all that time, but I know eventually I'd get there. So, yeah, Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. Only it has another name. What's the other name? Tom? That's not. Let me see if I can find the thing that I'm so tired. My brain is not working. At least that's what I'm claiming. How's that? I know I put it in here somewhere. Where's the goofy? There it is. I told Emily where I was going to be tomorrow. Join me for the live stream. And I can't believe I can't find that. Henderson, Louisiana. That's where I'll be tomorrow night. Pat's Fisherman's Wharf, Henderson, Louisiana, is where I'm going to eat. I'm not going to have gator steak. I've had gator before. Back when I was working on the in Marco Island, Florida, I had gator steak several times. Real honest to God gator steak. I mean, off a gator that was, fresh. I won't say how it happened, but Carol's with us. Hi, Carol. Glad you stopped in. We need to test the port with the other cruise lines to see if they are all bad or MSC is causing the poor service. I'm reasonably sure, Tom, from what I could gather, those employees work at all the stations, depending on the ship schedule. And they just change uniforms, they change badges. So that even though it said it was MSC on their badge, a Disney ship sails and they're working that, they have Disney crap on. But they are actually port employees, not MSC employees. It's the information I've gotten. So, yeah, I agree. We need to find out. But I mean, I'm going from the specific building that this was stuffed in my face. 5 refusals for wheelchair service is the total of that I was refused. And till I got through the lines and waiting and walking, and about an hour's worth of waiting and walking in lines, when they finally gave me the wheelchair, and then went to the final security thing and expected me to get up again to go through the magnetometer thing you get the guy. I said, no, push the chair through to the other side, get the wand out. I said, number one, I'm setting the thing off because of my metal hips. So you're going to have to pat me down and wand me anyway. Take the chair through there and do it. They did. So, and then they took me on the ship. And then they weren't going to take me out of the cabin. I said, oh, yes, you are. Do you know what situation will be in Texas? No. Other than Jack sailed, had some issues, but not bad ones. But Jack sailed on adventure, 3 weeks ago? So, no, I don't know. Go into it with open minds, but I'm going to be prepared if I have problems. Chillie's going to get himself blacklisted by the cruise line. It's okay. If that happens, that happens. Somebody has to represent the disabled and the mobility challenged people that are getting screwed. Now, I've been screwed several times, and it's going to stop. That's what the ADA is about. So if I get a bad name with the cruise lines, that's only because they're not doing things right. If they do things right, I'm not going to raise hell. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not looking for trouble just to make trouble. I'm reacting to trouble that's been stuffed down my throat, yes, and stuffed down everybody else's throat. Amy's with us. Hi, Amy. Emily's here. Hi, Emily. I was commenting on Facebook Live. Okay. Hot Air says, hi, gals. Katie's here, of course. Hello, Hot Air, Emily says. The most fun driving through the panhandle of Florida is crossing the Central Time and watching the clocks change. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep clocks on my Eastern time, even though it's in Central Time now. So I'm not changing my watch. And for some reason, my computer's not changing, so thankfully. So I've got everything on Eastern Daylight Time. So I can not get screwed up with the shows. And especially Cruz Amigos, because London time's going to change this weekend coming up finally. So it goes back to 5 hours. It's now 4 hours time difference. What do you think about the daylight savings time law if the House says yes? I don't know. What are they doing? Making it daylight savings time all the time or no daylight savings time? I'm not following that one, Emily. So you'll have to fill me in. Hot Air says he likes it. I have winter doldrum issues. How long is your adventure of the cruise? It's 2 cruises, 5 days and 4 days. So it's 9 days total, back to back. Whereas Kevin and Frank to help, much more fun. Yeah, I'm not going there, Tom. My mom told me that the Senate tried to do the same thing years ago. They won't change the clocks. Okay. Well, I'm on, I would just assume they keep the same time, whichever way they go. Changing's a pain in the, you know what. So let me think. What else did I want to talk about tonight? Nothing I can think of. Looking forward to getting on an adventure of the seas. I've done some research on the ship. A lot of things that I've heard about it, I like. There are some mobility issues on it, some accessibility issues, like all ships. They don't do the pools right. They don't do the hot tubs right. But I think that's across the board. They need to get somebody in the accessibility area to help them design the ships. That's the only way they're ever going to make pools and hot tubs accessible. Yeah, they've got the lift chairs. Well, I'm sorry. And what I'm finding out is about 90% of us that are mobility challenged on up to full disability wouldn't step foot in one of those lift chairs if you paid us. It just goes against all grain of decency to me. It's embarrassing. It's degrading. It's, you name it, it's that. So that means that the pools and the hot tubs are inaccessible. Unless you're like me. Yes, I can walk enough to get to a hot tub if it's 4 or 5 steps up. 7 or 8 steps, that's a different story. But, up to 5 steps, yeah, I can do that. I can get in a pool if I want to. That's a little more dicey as far as getting in and out, but I can. So, but there's no way in the world I would get into one of the lift chairs. Ain't gonna happen. I will have to do a video of using that chair. Yeah. What cabin type do you have? Same cabin for both cruises? Yeah, same cabin. I don't remember. Hot air. It's whatever they have that's accessible, and I don't remember. It probably is an inside. It seems that the majority of their accessible cabins are inside. I think, but I don't know. I don't have that at my fingertips because I don't care. I mean, I would like to be in a balcony or an ocean view, but I don't care if I'm in an interior. What I use the staterooms for is for sleeping, for working on my computer. I'm not sitting looking out the window. So I don't mind, and I don't get claustrophobic. The accessible interior cabins are generally pretty good sized. So, but I don't recall on this one. Well, there's Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you tonight. Hot Air says, I love playing with gadgets. Oh, I got a gadget today, Hot Air, I have to tell you about. Those of you that were watching Cruise Amigos yesterday, I was doing it from the car. And the battery on my computer died. I mean, went dead on me halfway through the show. So I explained what happened, and then I was going to try to switch over to my phone, and then the phone, for some unknown reason, we're still not sure why, I couldn't get back on StreamYard. I kept getting these security messages that I've never seen before. So I'm not sure what caused that, but I couldn't get back on StreamYard to rejoin the show. So I talked with John afterwards, and I said, what can I do? He said, well, don't you have a converter? I said, converter for what? He said, it plugs in your cigarette lighter and converts it to a 110 circuit. Where'd he get that? She said, stop at a truck stop. Okay. So in my car, it's a Subaru Forester, I have one of my portable oxygen units plugged into the cigarette lighter that's in the dash. Okay. Well, then last week I had trouble with my phone, and I finally found that there's a place that you can plug the cable, the US, what do you call these things? The the end of the phone charger. Anyway, USB cable thing. It plugs in, the little square thing it plugs in. So I found down in the hole in the console, between the seats in the front seat, you can plug that in there. And right next to that was another cigarette lighter. So I stopped this morning at a Pilot truck stop and went in and found this converter, just like John said. It plugs into the cigarette lighter and then has a little gadget, and it has a regular electrical 110 circuit plug. So I plugged in when I did my show today. I plugged my computer power supply into this new gadget, and I stayed charged, for the whole show. So now I've got a 110, literally a 110 circuit in my car. So I mean, like, let's say, for instance, my scooter's running low. I can run the charger cord up from the scooter on the rack in the back, or put it inside the car and fold it up and put it in the back of the car and run that up and plug it in. So I could charge my car from my car when I'm not using the scooter. There's all kinds of neat things I can do with this stuff. So I spent $40 for this adapter. I didn't even know you could do that. But then I'm not very technically oriented like Nanook of the North John is. So I have a mower coming someday that is like a Roomba. That should be fun. Nikki said it's time for a good night's sleep. Hot Air, you should try VR goggles. You would love that if you like gadgets. Sleep well, Nikki. It's in development now, Hot Air says, or Amazon, Best Buy. USB square thing. Yeah, Jason, I can't remember what crap these things are. The scooter can charge in the car. Yeah, I could. No, that's not good. Plug it in. It's what it plugs into a regular 110 circuit anyway. So yeah, I could do that. Now, obviously, it's there for the computer when I do that, and it's easier for me to do it from the car than try to haul all this crap inside when I'm using McDonald's Wi-Fi to do live streams. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to do the show here, and then I'll leave here and go on down the road. But I'll do the show tomorrow here, as opposed to like this morning. I taped it and then drove, and then stopped and then did the show. But tomorrow I'll do it real honest to God live tomorrow. So anyway, so that's all I want to talk about. I wanted to tell you about Elizabeth and her good news. So she's going to be on a Carnival ship. And it's going to be a Carnival ship that's going to stop in Cozumel on a regular basis. So you guys can do some calculating on that one as to where it might be coming from, like Galveston or New Orleans. One of the two. And it's Carnival. So, and it's a good deal for her. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for tonight, guys. I need to get some sleep. I'm tired. So I will be back in the morning with the regular show at 11 and all the latest in travel and cruise industry news. For now, that's the evening saying goodbye, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Y'all have a fabulous evening. See ya next time.